We'll bring in the Batwing. Hang on, you ready for the Batwing to come in?
Will it have a body dangling from it?
Yeah, it's going to hanged, man.
No, but it's going to bring in my favourite gadget, which...
Bat repellent, shark repellent bat spray.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like that gadget, but no. Wait till you see. Here we go.
So this is exactly like those points in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, where you bring in Samus's ship to do a bombing run on a target.
Except, I've got the line launcher.
Oh, you made like a tight wire.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Basically, it's pretty cool.
Right. This is a complete distraction, but have you ever seen, there's a film about it, but there's also some like documentaries and stuff, about the guy who tightrope walked between the Twin Towers?
Oh, is this Man on the Line or something like that?
A French
It's
guy.
not the Twin Towers, is it?
It was the Twin Towers.
Wasn't that somewhere in...
No. It was literally the Twin Towers a couple of years before...
It happened.
Yes, before there weren't Twin Towers anymore. And he literally, like, him and a couple of friends, like, heisted their way into the Twin Towers, shot a bow and arrow with a line on it between the two towers, and he just did a high wire walk on it with no harness or net or anything like that.
It's called High Wire, isn't it?
The film's called Man on Wire. And he's a French guy, whose name I can't remember because it's very French. But
French people have silly names sometimes.
I just can't remember off the top of my head. It's like Jean-Michel Sardou or something like that. It's not, because that's a singer from France. But
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I know, but thank you.
It's one of my favourite parts.
And like his like the
Batman away!
But yeah, seeing him interviewed in this documentary is fascinating because he's literally just like, when they're like, why did you do this? He was like, well, I'm a high wire artist, and that was one of the biggest things you could do a high wire between, so I did it. He's just so fucking nonchalant about breaking into the Twin Towers, climbing to the top, where they basically, to avoid detection, they went up there in the daytime.
Oh, we got competition with Ivy now.
Slept up there on the top of the Twin Towers overnight, and then did it the next morning.
That's pretty cool.
It's fucking insane, and he's just like, yeah, we just did it because it seemed like the thing to do at the time. It's a fucking wild.
Kill him first.
Ivy.
Oh, Philip Petit, that was
I know
it, yeah.
Dr. Young mutated these plants to produce venom.
Yes. And I heard it through the grapevine the evil woman paid the price.
I need you to help me create an antidote.
Why should I? Let Joker have his fun. I'll enjoy watching you squirm.
You've been in the dark too long. Every plant on this island will get the same unless you cooperate.
There's a plant.
Oh yeah, he's the good
growing
guy.
deep in
Obviously.
Say, yeah.
tightly strain.
Where do I find it?
Where's the trigger?
Killer Croc's lair.
Here we go.
I
Yeah.
didn't think it would be easy.
The croc level.
Why does someone who's been imprisoned on this island have a lair?
Go back to your cell.
Well, he's got
I was
loose.
supposed to be all been loose for, at this point, nearly 5 hours.
I think they do talk about it, that Croc, they kind of just keep him down there and toss him some food every so often. Like, they don't even try to rehabilitate him.
Yeah.
He's so profoundly dangerous. They
It's
keep
just
him-
bestial, they view it as, yeah. How was your learning about your man, Sprite?
You're 100% right. It's even the film I was thinking of. He also did one in Sydney, and that's clearly confused me.
They did basically, yeah. There was weirdly 2 films about it came out at basically the same time. There was a documentary,
And then-
there was also a dramatization.
With Gordon Love Hewitt.
Yes, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You mean?
That's the one.
You've mixed up him with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yep.
They would make a surprisingly cute couple.
They would.
Well, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Fuck knows what they call their children, because that's a gobful and a
They'd
half.
call them adorable because
Oh, they
they'd
call them the
children.
Love Hewitt Gordon-Levitt.
Yes. Yes. Kick, 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 kick.
See, that's one of the issues of double barrel names, which is why I will never take the doctor's surname.
It's the problem of you have to, like, because people often hold up Spain for this, that in Spain, you get both parents' things, but you only pass forward your father's name.
Exactly.
So it basically means that female names survive 1 generation longer, but they still inevitably take second fiddle to male names, yeah.
Whereas if something was to radically change and the Doctor and I were to spawn, the spawn would have my surname.
That's because you're the last of your line.
And
Whereas
quite frankly, you can name any children you give birth to.
I have 17 male cousins, so
That's absurd.
my surname
Yeah.
ain't going out of fashion anytime soon.
Whereas I am the last in my, immediate family. You have to go
Yeah.
a few generations back to find any males who can carry the
My
line.
mum and my dad both have 3 brothers. all of whom had mostly sons.
Clearly.
Because then we got what? So we got 3. Me and my brother is 2. That's on one side. So that's 3, 6, 8, 9. No, 6, 7, 8. Entirely male. And then we got 3 again, 2 again, and then one woman. So we got 17 and 1. 2 if you count the one who's adopted. Basically. Oh no, there's 2. There's 2. Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
3 if you count the adopted one, but yeah, that's against 17.
I can't not hear the Thor thing. Like he was adopted.
As if no one saw that with Loki, the man who is clearly dark-haired and looks literally nothing like...
You and the stag?
True, we do look very different. But we're a weird case of, I look like Dad, Stag looks like Mum.
Yeah.
Like, if you see the 4 of us together, no one denies the family resemblance. But if you just saw Stag and Dad with me versus me and Mum, you might be a bit... Mum was once accused in a supermarket of stealing me.
Yeah.
Someone came up to her when she had me in a pram and she said, "Excuse me, I know this is a weird thing to ask, but is this your baby?" And my mum basically said, Yes, fuck off! Who the fuck are you?
Whereas,
How did you think that conversation was going to go in your head?
whereas I have the opposite problem. Literally anyone, even if they're not related to me, everyone's like, "Oh my god, they look just like you."
But you don't.
Especially when they're literally not related to me, like my brother-in-law's family. And people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, look just like you."
Both of
Or-
your sisters look more like your mum than you do as well. Well,
that's not true.
One of them does, yeah.
No, we all have aspects.
Yeah.
Although weirdly, I took a picture of myself after I'd been on a really bad failed run, and I swear to God,
Yeah,
it was
you
my
look-
father.
Yeah, you look much more like your parents when you look like shit. Basically.
Thanks,
It's true.
but
It's a
yeah.
little harsh, but okay.
No, it's more harsh to
But
the parents.
I'll have to show you this one photo. Literally, it looks like my dad. Like it literally looks like him. It's
For reference,
horrifying.
for the viewers, if you need something to picture,
Stephen Fry and Wagner,
yeah, if Stephen Fry had sex with Richard Wagner, that's
and
what
had
was right.
offspring, that would be my
Yeah.
dad.
With a little bit of Kieran Hines.
Kieran Hines.
You man from... he was the captain in The Terror that we were talking about earlier.
Oh no.
He looks a bit like your dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, he's a fairly attractive man.
No, he's not. He's hideous.
Nah, he's all right.
Like, you know the guy I'm thinking of, right?
He
he was in...
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was Mance Raider. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit.
He's not good
alright.
looking. He's awful.
He's a bit all right.
These comments notwithstanding. It seems like I've got to go and find some kind of weird plant in Croc's lair.
Yeah, and you also have to sneak around in the sewers because that's what Batman does.
Like...
Yes.
He's
almost
okay.
definitely.
He's not okay. He looks like a bad... He looks like... Right, you know that unflattering photo of Trent Reznor that I produced the other day?
Yeah.
He looks like that. He looks like bad Trent Reznor.
That was a particularly unflattering
forgive me,
photo of
who's-
Trent
who's-
Reznor.
9 Inch Nails man.
Ah.
He also did a load of soundtracks. You'll have heard of his work.
Yeah, he's done a load of film soundtracks of late.
And games.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We're getting to the stage now where people are like, "Oh, Trent Reznor, that
The film composer.
the film composer who used to have a band."
People let the sprite die inside.
Because I'm like, no, he's really famous for his band.
Did Nine Inch Nails do Hurt?
Yes.
That's their probably most famous thing.
Which was covered by Johnny Cash, and everyone thinks it's the other way around.
Yeah, I always thought it was the other way around. Partly because I just don't picture there being an overlap between Johnny Cash and 9 Inch Nails.
There is a lot.
Right. Two obvious questions. First off, is Johnny Cash dead?
Oh yeah, long
Yeah.
dead.
Long dead, that's what I thought. When the fuck...
So
Like-
I have some fun knowledge about
Because
this.
Nine Inch Nails were late 80s, early 90s, weren't they?
Yeah.
I didn't think Johnny Cash was still alive
He
then.
was.
So I assumed that in order for those two songs to exist, Johnny Cash had to have done a song in the fucking 70s.
And it's important to note that Johnny Cash did that. It was one of the last things he did, and it was because he'd lost his wife.
Yeah.
And that's what he was covering in that
Is the-
way.
Oh, I think I'm dead.
Did you have the Johnny Cash version of Hurt on your playlist that you
Yeah.
dropped with?
It's
Yeah, I
one
thought
of
so,
the
yeah.
greatest songs anyone's ever recorded.
It's weird that you have it, but then you don't have the 9 Inch Nails version.
God damn it.
There are better Nine Inch Nails songs.
Fair.
The Cash cover is very, very good.
Yeah.
The Cash cover's very good. It adds something the original doesn't have, and I prefer other Nine Inch Nails songs, so...
Weirdly, like the music video for the Cash cover was shot in Cash's childhood home, which had since been turned into a museum, but had been like fallen into so much disuse that he's just surrounded by like the broken heirlooms and like dust and of his childhood home, like weeks
Yeah.
after his wife had died. June Carter Cash, who was, by the way, a pretty accomplished recording artist in her own
Yes, fantastic.
right.
not heard about her.
Arguably more talented than Cash himself.
Go on.
Worth,
I've literally not-
worth watching the film Walk the Line.
I've never.
It won't.
Was that film right? I saw bits of I saw that film advertised and thought it was some masturbatory Johnny Cash fan thing.
No,
Is
it's
it worth a
It
watch?
shows that he used to beat his
It's
wife,
quite scathing about Cash, actually.
Oh, okay, fair. I need to watch that actually.
but it also
Certainly the fact that you both are recommending it, which is fucking rare that you two agree on a piece of media. Frankly, that alone probably makes it worth watching for me.
just so we're clear, Trent Reznor is referred to as singer, song, what?
Keep talking.
Singer, songwriter, a multi-instrumentalist, and producer.
But yeah, he did. Yeah, because he did the post 9 Inch Nails. He did the scores for the Girl with the series, Gone Girl, The Social Network. He did the recent Watchmen series.
Yep,
Crumbs.
we literally talked about that.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Although it's not actually about the characters from the original Watchmen, it's like their successors.
No, other
isn't it?
than Ozymandias is in it.
Kind of, but yeah,
Played by what's his name? Fucking Scar.
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons, which is pretty good.
Oh,
As like
I-
an older version of
I did not know that.
Fate?
I enjoyed
Yeah.
the Watchmen series, but it had limitations.
I enjoyed what it tried to do, but it didn't do it well. It was really close in some ways, but it didn't. It missed.
Oh,
in a lot of ways.
come on! Jesus.
That was my chair, by the way. That's
Of course it was.
Still my chair. Still my chair, not my ass.
So, 9 Inch Nails was formed in 1988,
88.
and Johnny Cash died in 2003.
Cash died in 2003. I thought he
Yeah.
died in the fucking 70s.
I thought,
No.
oh no. It was like peak time in the 70s, man.
Bud, what do you want to drink? Because I notice you are out of drink and you're also out of ciders.
I am, but you know what I'm out of? What I'm not out of? Moves!
Spirits.
Yeah!
I really thought you were going to say the delicious orange taste of new Cointreau Smooth.
Don't say no as though you're advertising it.
Please sponsor us, Conroy. Anyway, we need to
Oh, please do.
So, question I was going to ask is, so the bard was just kind of celebrating almost the fact that he has all his power-ups back. And so my question was, does this series do what I consider to be the Metroid thing of, you play through a game, you get all your power-ups, and then for some reason at the beginning of the next game in the series, you do not have those power-ups.
That's
and it
precisely what
contrives
does.
to take them away again.
Oh, shit. Oh. So Joker's shot Ivy up with some Titan, and now...
Oh, good.
Now this has happened.
Rapey man.
Yeah, that sounded real rapey. I feel like this is intentional at this point, for him to sound pretty icky. Oh, you got some rips over your left bicep now as well.
Yeah, he's looking a bit rough.
That's conceptually very cool, I must say. It's.
Guess there's nothing for it. We gotta go into the sewers.
Where Batman
Well, we'll
belongs.
definitely not find a large crocodile man.
Yeah.
They brought the
Whatever.
animal before me.
Okay, here we go.
He's definitely doing a John Hurt voice.
He is.
what felt like days, I endured
Good.
his boasts.
I'd watch
This
it.
is
I'm so
definitely.
sad we never got more of John Hurt as Doctor Who.
He was good in
He
like
was really good in that one episode.
The Day of the Doctor?
Yeah, when he was the Doctor that fought in the Time War, and he fucking nailed it.
Well, he's not technically the Doctor, is he?
No, because he renounced that title because he fucking murders people all the time and can't call himself the Doctor.
Well, I mean, he murders,
because he's
he
absolutely
murders Daleks, who kind of deserve it.
Yeah, but yeah.
Who decides who deserves them?
Different effect on Ivy.
I do.
Her plans are growing.
No one deserves it.
Soon be out of
Because I don't kill. Sometimes I hit people and they go to sleep for a really long time. But they never die.
He's gone to sleep forever.
So, I like how the environment changes based on what
Yeah.
the villain is in the Ascendants. Like, Ivy's plants are now running rampant over the islands, as you've just seen.
That's because Ivy's a fucking badass.
Ivy
we all
is
love
pretty
Ivy.
badass.
Stands Poison Ivy in the same way that she stands Faramir.
No.
Oh, she's better than
Sorry,
Faramir.
the sprite stands Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, normal people stand Faramir, don't worry.
Oh, a lunatic has grabbed me.
He was in the plant.
It doesn't-
Yeah.
I just
The
saved
plant
it
was
from
eating
the
him.
plant. How very dare he?
Why was he not more thankful? You're right.
Exactly.
Goddamn lunatic.
Plants
But
everywhere.
yeah, Poison Ivy, like, not only is she hot as fucking hell,
Yeah,
she's
agreed.
also dead fucking right. Whereas Faramir is like, oh my god, he's such a sweetheart and he is a good man.
And he's Padre of Aragon.
Yeah,
there's
agreed.
no, and there's this difference. So one of them's like awesome and amazing and oh my god, and the other
No,
one's
that's
like
fair, yeah.
yes, he's a decent person.
Ivy is a decent character, whereas Faramir is wank.
Oh
I
my,
agree.
fuck off! Why do I put up with
You
this
just
shit?
fisting all these flowers.
Yeah, it looks like it.
He's trying to stop him podding.
Like, if I don't, then
Pupating.
they attack me. They have, like, the pupates or... Oh, no. Oh!
I'm pretty sure plants don't pupate.
Whatever. I'm not a biologist.
Sometimes I pupate.
But yeah, you do. That's because you wrap yourself up and...
Emerge when I'm a beautiful butterfly and ready to be a human.
Do let me know when that happens.
I hate the plants. They're just laborious.
Hey, plants are great.
Right, you've only very recently become a plant person. Like, literally
I'm
over
not a plant
lockdown.
person.
You are. You keep acquiring plants in a way that you didn't before.
Right, okay, cherry trees
You're
are
not like
different.
the boy level who keeps... Right, the boy has literally, over the last 2 years, invested over $1,000 in carnivorous plants.
And just so we're clear, this is as much the
infested with
scientist.
flies?
No,
It's both of them. It is both of
That's
them.
obscene.
it is.
But
as
it's
much the
it's the
scientist.
boy who is like, he'll do an extra hour onto his drive back from work so he can go by the specialist shop and buy special water for his carnivorous plants from.
Yeah.
Special water.
Yeah, basically, they should be fed on like rainwater, but he lives in the south and they don't get enough rain to actually sustain their plants.
So perhaps he shouldn't have plants?
You'd think so, but no, instead he just buys 25 litres butts of
Or
essentially swampy rainwater.
he should just move to Scotland, which would solve many problems.
It would solve a lot of problems.
I mean, all intelligent people eventually live in Scotland, but
That's not true. But fair.
not that I'm biased.
Unfortunately, Angela Carter disagrees. She moved to France.
Also, while a lot of intelligent people may move to Scotland, this does not mean the population of Scotland is on average intelligence.
How dare you? But also true.
Why are you trying to cause a fight, Doctor?
You've been to South Lanarkshire, so
Fuck off.
I know that you agree. Well, he's from South Lanarkshire. That's even
Stop
worse.
I'm from North Ayrshire, actually.
Well, that's just as bad.
Not that it doesn't really matter. It's
The point stands.
yes, it does. Oh wow! I've forgotten that Ivy
Oh, this-
changes. I don't think I can go down there anymore.
No, I think
You
you're gonna.
can, but you get
But
I think
thank
you're
breathe
gonna
in her
get,
poison.
You're gonna have a rough
thoughts.
time.
her sexy,
Da, da,
sexy
da.
poisons.
Da-da-da.
Do you not sully Batman with fucking Indiana Jones?
You don't like Indiana Jones?
I love
I
Indiana
love
Jones.
it. I love all 3 films that they made, and I'm very glad they never made any more. And that's the
Yeah.
last we'll ever say of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be.
Also, the second
Yeah.
one's pretty poor.
Well, things like that. I disagree.
I remember enjoying the second one as a kid. Watching back now, fuck me, it's aged awfully.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's got some real problematic shit in there. From Short Round to the whole Kalima thing, it's all aged terribly.
Yeah.
I know.
Whereas the third one with Sean Connery is actually really good.
I haven't
the
seen
third
the
one's
third one
great.
all the way through until very recently, and
It's-
like I really enjoyed it. I still think
He chose poorly.
I still
Man
think
from Game of Thrones.
I still think Raiders is the best one, but
I mean, I stick heavily on the problem with that film is that the entire plot of that film doesn't depend on the protagonist. Everything that's going to happen in that film would happen without any interference with Indiana Jones.
but like it's a fun adventure. It's a good romp. Like that's
Yeah,
that's what we're there
some
for.
Nazis get their faces melted, which is always good.
I mean, like that is good.
I miss when Nazis were just unambiguously the villain. Yeah.
I don't know why you're being sarcastic because like it is good, objectively
No, yeah,
good when
I
Nazis get
agree.
their faces
Yeah,
melted.
and that was not an ironic point. It's like, yeah, I miss when we could say, well, this person is a Nazi, and then everyone would say, well, obviously, therefore, they're the villain. Whereas now it's like, well, you know, both sides. It's like, shut the fucking
That was a
Nazis.
little enclave here.
I figured you'd be here about now. What's the deal with the plants?
It's complicated.
Let me guess. Poison Ivy. She teamed up with Joker.
All that matters is that I can stop the plants taking over the island, but
There's always a but, isn't there?
where do you keep Killer Croc? I found a door in the sewers, but it's sealed shut.
That monster's got his own special cell. It's right below the transfer room back in intensive treatment. Elevator goes right down to an old sewer. We just drop meat down there every day or so and try to forget about it. It's locked off. More security than the Joker. You won't get in without the warden's permission. He has the codes.
Thanks, Cash. Stay here and do not go near the plants. They'll kill you.
The plants will kill you.